I never thought a stack of neon pink truth or dare cards would blow up my marriage, until one fell out and called my husband sweetest secret. My name's Kayla Brooks, 30, project manager by day, amateur party host by night. I live in an open-concept condo outside Austin with my husband, Ryan, and a rescue mutt who answers to both waffles and stop chewing that. Ryan is 32, accountant, the kind of guy who alphabetizes our spice rack and claims it helps him relax after Q4. We met sophomore year at UT over a spilled latte and a mutual hatred of 8 a.m. lectures. For 8 years, we've been the predictable couple in every friend group. Matching Halloween costumes, joint Google Calendar, his and hers hydro flasks. Predictable sounds boring unless you grew up like I did. Mom juggling 2 jobs, no time for school field trips, certainly no game nights. So once adulthood gave me disposable income and a dishwasher, I started a tradition: First Friday couples game night. Every first Friday, we invite 4 other couples, rotate the board game theme, and cram my countertop with charcuterie that costs more than my first used car. It's my way of making sure friendship doesn't rot in read receipt limbo. My best friend since 6th grade, Jenna Torres, is the honorary co-host. Jenna's that radiant extrovert who can convince a TSA agent to follow her on TikTok. She and Ryan get along like grilled cheese and tomato soup, both gourmet and childhood. I never worried about that combo. Why would you worry when your 2 favorite people laugh at the same memes? April's theme was Nostalgia Remix. Classics like Jenga dipped in craft beer penalties, and Truth or Dare upgraded with glossy tarot-size cards I designed in Canva. Think bright colors, spicy prompts, QR codes leading to TikTok dance forfeits. I spent a week printing, laminating, packaging them into an aesthetic matte black box tied with twine. Jenna helped me cut ribbon while gossiping about her new Pilates instructor crush, and his core could grate hard Parmesan, Kayla, I'm telling you. Game night arrived like a Pinterest explosion. Fairy light strings on the balcony, my charcuterie-board waffle cones stuffed with salami roses, and a playlist of early 2000's bangers. Guests trickled in: Nate and Zoe from Ryan's office, Dev and Priya from my kickboxing class, and Quentin with his fiancée Leela, who had never played Truth or Dare and looked both intrigued and terrified. Jenna was last, breezing through the door in a cherry red jumpsuit that made half the room sit up straighter. She hugged me, air-kissed both cheeks European style, then handed Ryan a 6-pack of craft stout. "For the host with the most," she sang. We kicked off with Jenga shots. Every fallen block meant a sip of jalapeno margarita. Leela toppled the tower on her second pull. Everyone cheered. Someone started recording for stories. By 9 p.m., we'd migrated to the living room floor for the main event, Truth or Dare Redux. I placed my custom box in the center like a crown jewel. "House rules," I announced. "Pick a card, read it out loud, you've got 30 seconds to comply. No skipping unless you Venmo $20 to Jenna's Pizza for Puppies fund." Laughter, clinking glasses. First round was mild. Sing your middle school crush's name to the tune of Happy Birthday. Dev belted, Jessica, and Priya faux pouted. Next, dare swap shirts with the person on your right. Jenna ended up in Nate's corporate polo, which swallowed her, and the room nearly exploded. Third round, Ryan reached for the stack, drew a lime green card, and read, "Text your mom. I finally got that rash looked at," groans and giggles. He shrugged good-naturedly and sent the text. 15 seconds later, his phone buzzed with Mrs. Brooks calling. He declined amid cheers. Game flowed, alcohol softened edges. At some point, I ducked into the kitchen to refresh the ice bucket. On my way back, waffles skidded across the hardwood chasing a cheese cube. I bent to scoop him up and noticed a stray Truth or Dare card under the ottoman, face down. Must have slipped from the stack. I grabbed it, planning to shove it back. But the handwriting on the back wasn't mine. I'd printed all prompts in bold sans serif, laminated, nothing handwritten. Yet here, scrawled in blue ink, was, "Confession, my fantasy is dessert in the pantry with you tonight." A shaky heart doodle. My stomach flipped. Maybe one of the guests added a wild card. I turned it over. Front side, hot pink border my Canva design, title read Dare, but instead of the printed prompt box, someone had taped a folded sticky note. My pulse ratcheted. I peeled it open. "Meet me outside after the last round, no more secrets. SS." SS, initials of my husband, Ryan Samuel Brooks, were RSB initials of Jenna's first and last name. JT, but Jenna's middle name, Sophia. Jenna S. Tours. My throat narrowed. Kayla, you good? Jenna called from the couch. I jolted, slipped the card into my pocket, forced a grin. Just dog herding. Back in the circle, I studied the players. Ryan's laugh was a fraction too loud. Jenna twirled a strand of hair, nervous tick she swore she'd broken. My head buzzed like a shorted outlet. I needed answers, but a confrontation would nuke the night mid-fun. So I smiled and kept the volleys moving, all while cataloging every side glance between the two. When Quentin drew, "Dare post the last selfie you took to Instagram with no caption," I seized the distraction to slip into the hallway. I carried the game box under pretense of refilling it. In bedroom light, I emptied cards onto the bed, fanning them. 5 more had handwriting on the back, disguised under my printed design. My heart pounded like kick drum. Card 1, Truth. What color is Kayla's bedroom wall? Hope you peeked last week, winking face. Card 2, Dare. Tell your best friend she smells like vanilla lies. Card 3, Truth. Who steals more kisses in the pantry? Card 4, Dare. Leave the party at midnight and don't look back. Card 5, QR code leading to a private TikTok account at Secret Spice 2025. I scanned the code. Up popped a single locked video with the thumbnail of 2 silhouetted figures kissing behind pantry shelves. Title, Practice Round for Game Night, Face Blowing a Kiss. Posted 2 days ago. Blood roared in my ears. I knew my pantry silhouette, mess of curly hair, shorter stature. The taller silhouette's back looked eerily like Ryan's, and the recording phone perched at angle, Jenna's pop socket mermaid case glittered in the edge of frame. I sat on the bed, clutching dog-chewed pillow, nausea rolling. Betrayal is cliché until it's yours, then it's nuclear singular, spelling your name in Fallout. But a strange calm iced over the lava. You host game night, Kayla. You know every rule and every Wi-Fi password. An idea sparked, half vengeance, half theater. Ryan loved wholesome viral pranks. Jenna dreamt of becoming a TikTok micro-celebrity. Fine, I'd give them a stage. I slipped back into the living room, game box in hands, face composed. Final round, I announced. New twist, this time we livestream Truth or Dare to TikTok. Audience can vote real-time for extra dares. Drunk cheers erupted. Nate yelled, "Content creator, Kayla?" I positioned my phone on a tripod, hit go live, set the privacy to friends except Kayla's cheaters, a setting I'd discovered last month for surprise parties. Meaning Jenna and Ryan could watch the playback later, but not realize it was live to everyone else now. Special envelope, I said, brandishing the pantry card with the sticky note heart, adhesive resealed. Who's brave? Jenna raised a hand, of course. I winked. Perfect. She opened the card, read the handwritten dare aloud. Laughter erupted, she fake gasped. Ooh, secret dessert in the pantry? Naughty. Ryan coughed into his drink, eyes darting. Audience in chat fired heart emojis. I stepped behind Jenna, held up 5 fingers to the camera, silent countdown. At 0, I cut the music. Plot twist, I said, voice lacquered in sugar. That card wasn't in the original deck, Jenna, gasps. I pulled the other forged cards from my pocket, fanned them like guilty playing cards. Neither were these. Silence, only Waffles' collar jingled. Jenna's smile cracked. Kayla, what are you? Exploring bonus content, I said sweetly. I tapped my phone to screen share the locked TikTok thumbnail. It filled the TV via AirPlay, 2 shapes kissing in pantry, time-stamped 48 hours earlier. The room inhaled as one. Nate muttered, holy. Ryan shot to his feet. Everyone, this is Kayla, stop. I raised a brow. Stop, but you love game night surprises, babe. I turned to the camera. Hey TikTok, quick poll, Truth, should cheaters on their dares in public? Hearts exploded, the live chat spammed yes. Ryan's face crimsoned. Jenna stammered, reaching for me. Kay, please, offline. Sure, I said. I swiped up, ended live stream, but not before saving the recording to my camera roll and silently toggling share to favorites where my 40K followers would see a teaser thumbnail marked, Game Night Gone Wrong. Guests scrambled awkward excuses and bylaid, charcuterie boxes clutched like shields. Within minutes, only 3 remained. Ryan packing, Jenna crying, and me, oddly calm, sliding the Truth or Dare cards back into their box like evidence. Looking back now, I realized that was the exact second our marriage ended. not with slamming doors, but with laminate cards whispering truths louder than any dare could shout. And the night was far from over. The door had barely clicked shut behind our fleeing friends when the real noise started, the kind you can't record because it happens inside your ribcage. Tick, 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 like a time bomb strapped to my heartbeat. Ryan paced between the sofa and the kitchen island, running both hands through his neat accountant hair until it looked like static interference. Jenna hovered by the balcony slider, arms wrapped tight across that cherry-red jumpsuit as if fabric alone could keep her from splitting apart. "Kayla, okay, we need context," Ryan said finally, voice pitched to that calm-down tone he uses on irate clients. "Those cards, whatever you think." "Whatever I think." My laughter cracked like ice under a truck tire. Did an AI handwrite love notes and post pantry makeouts to a secret TikTok? Jenna lifted both palms, a referee who forgot the whistle. "I swear, that video was just us goofing around." "With my husband." I tossed the card box onto the coffee table. It bounced, spilling more laminated confessionals. One fluttered face up at Jenna's feet. "Dare tell your best friend you steal her man for a taste of spice." Her lip quivered. Ryan reached for me. I stepped back, nearly tripping over waffles. The dog whined, sensing incoming thunder. Ryan's voice dropped. "Look, Jenna and I had a moment." "How many moments fit into 48 hours of timestamped pantry footage?" I snapped. "Was it before or after resetting the security cam I installed last month?" His eyes widened. Jenna's hand flew to her mouth. They hadn't known about the camera, another of Ryan's house efficiency projects he disabled when we adopted Waffles because no one needs to watch the dog poop. I'd quietly turned the downstairs angle back on after our neighbor's break-in, forgotten it until tonight. "So you filmed us," Jenna shot back, sudden righteous indignation. "That's creepy." "Creepy is playing tongue twister with someone else's vows." I pulled my phone, opened the security app, and tapped the pantry file. Ryan lunged, but I raised a finger. "Touch my phone and you confirm guilt on camera number 2, the hallway when you left on to monitor Amazon deliveries." He stopped cold, chest heaving. Jenna swayed like a blown candle. I let a long silence stretch, air thick with cilantro and betrayal. "I need space," I said at last, each syllable a steel beam holding up the roof. "Ryan, pack a bag and book any hotel that takes cheaters. Jenna, call a rideshare. This friendship just expired." Ryan shook his head. "This is my home too." "Not tonight." I opened the entry closet, tossed him his gym duffel. Socks spilled. "Lease is in my name, remember? You insisted because your credit card debt looked messy." His shoulders deflated. He stuffed clothes mechanically, like data entry with cotton. Jenna tried a softer route. "Kayla, 20 years of friendship can't." 20 years ended the first time you hid from my cameras." I handed her the neon pink box. "Take your custom cards. They're collector's items now." Ryan zipped the duffel, eyes glassy. "You're making this public circus worse. Delete the live stream, please." "Oh, the circus is just setting up tents," I said. "Now go, I need to disinfect my pantry." He opened his mouth, closed it, left. Jenna followed, tears streaking mascara. The silence they left behind felt louder than any argument. I locked the door, pressed my back against it, slid down until tile met spine. Waffles crawled into my lap, licking salt off my cheeks. The condo smelled of cured meats and stale betrayal. My phone buzzed on the coffee table, TikTok notifications stacking like Tetris blocks. Game night gone wrong already at 120K views. Girl drop the full T. Not Jenna stealing Ryan while Kayla records loudly exploding. My thumb hovered over delete. But something in me, call it survival instinct, call it justice, clicked post follow-up later instead. I wasn't ready to be silent. Silence is how secrets germinate. Sleep arrived in ragged 5-minute splices. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw neon cards fluttering like wasp wings. At 4:12 a.m., I gave up, brewed coffee, and opened the pantry. Empty shelves, save for a single heart-shaped cookie cutter Jenna once gifted me. I hurled it into the trash. Laptop time. Step 1. Back up every security clip to 2 hard drives and a cloud folder labeled Evidence, Personal. Step 2. Screen record the TikTok live replay, because nothing on the internet stays for proof unless you save it yourself. Step 3. Draft a version of the story for my 40K followers that wouldn't get me sued for defamation, but also wouldn't sugarcoat. I typed bullet points until sunrise. Phone buzz, mom texting, everything okay, dreamed you were shouting Uno. My stomach dropped, I hadn't told her. I typed long night, will call, and turned the phone face down. At 9 a.m. Nate called. We're outside with kalashes, you need allies. Minutes later, he and Zoe arrived with sugary pastry morale. They'd already seen the clip. Zoe hugged me hard. Internet, on your side, she whispered. #truth or scare is trending. I laughed for the first time in hours, sharp but real. Nate cracked open his laptop. We can clip the pantry footage, blur faces, compile a timeline. But first, you lawyering up. I hadn't thought that far. Divorce, viral vengeance, both, my mind word. Let's gather data before war plans, I said. While they set up, I scrolled TikTok. My teaser had spawned reaction videos. Therapists analyzing microexpressions, comedians dubbing Ryan and Jenna pantry pie thieves, fans remixing my shocked face into memes. One particularly savage edit froze Ryan's panicked expression under the caption, when the side quest becomes DLC you can't afford. It had 400K likes. Ding, group, kickboxing crew lit up. Priya, girl, we ride at dawn. You okay? Dev, I can design a t-shirt. Truth or dare, dare to stay loyal. Someone else, drop full story on Reddit AITA, you'll go viral. I replied, processing, appreciate the fists and fonts. Another ding, email from HR at Ryan's accounting firm, addressed to me. Subject, request for statement regarding social media incident. My eyebrows hit hairline. His employer must have recognized him in the clip. I forwarded it to Ryan with a curt heads up, then archived. Nate called me over. Watch this. He played the pantry security clip, Ryan entering first, looking over his shoulder. Jenna slipped in, shut the door, whispered, she's still slicing cheese. He cupped her face, kissed her, slow, practiced. She giggled, truth or dare, babe? He murmured, dare me? She said, dare you to say you love me. He, easy dare. My stomach lurched. Nate paused, jaw tight. Kayla, we can blur them, but the audio. I waved him mute. Save raw file, I'm not leaking that yet. Zoe peeked over the screen. What's the goal? Viral shame, legal separation, both. Honestly, I didn't know. But a thought surfaced. Game night had always been my show. They hijacked it. Now I wanted creative control back, on my terms, not out of spite but to reclaim my story. Step 1, I said. I'm going to produce a follow-up TikTok tonight, no faces, just story time. Let people learn empathy, not just laugh at memes. Nate nodded, then step 2. I drummed fingers on the counter. Step 2, I host a new game night, virtual. Invite my followers, let them submit truths for cheaters, donate super chat proceeds to an animal rescue. Make something good out of garbage. Zoe clapped, digital comeuppance and charity, chef's kiss. We planned all afternoon. I designed graphics, Friday, truth or dare, Kayla's redemption edition. Nate set up stream overlays, Zoe fielded DMs. By 5 p.m., pre-registration hit 10K viewers. Comments flooded. Spill the pantry beans. Team Kayla. Cheaters never prosper, but they do trend smiling face with horns. Ryan texted at 6. Can we talk? Outside your building. I peered through blinds. His sedan idled at the curb. I typed back, tomorrow, in public. Lawyer CC'd. Jenna hadn't reached out since a 2 a.m. apology essay I left unread. The sun dipped, amber light spilling over unfinished charcuterie. I lit a candle, not for romance but for grounding, and pressed record. Into the camera I spoke, voice steady. Hey, internet family. Last night my DIY game went off script. I found surprise cards exposing betrayal. I confronted it live, probably messy, definitely real. I'm not here to roast anyone, though memes be memes. I'm here to remind you, honesty is cheaper than deception, and friendship isn't a coupon you can double dip. Tomorrow we'll stream a charity version of Truth or Dare where the only dare is to be kind. I hit post. Within minutes, like sprinted past 50K, local news for interviews. The algorithm smelled blood and redemption. Around midnight, I crawled into bed, exhaustion finally heavier than adrenaline. Waffles curled behind my knees. Phone buzzed one last time, Ryan emailed. Please don't destroy me online. I closed the app. I wasn't out for blood, I was out for balance. But if he mistook accountability for destruction, that was his maths problem, not mine. Just before sleep claimed me, I pictured neon cards again. but this time blank, ready for new prompts I'd write myself. And maybe, just maybe, next First Friday I'd deal a deck that dared me to forgive without forgetting. But that card could wait. We still had 4 more parts of this story and 1 epic live stream to play. I woke up Thursday to the kind of notification avalanche that makes your phone heat like a soldering iron. DMs from strangers offering hugs, sponsorships disguised as hugs, and half the Austin influencer scene begging to co-host my redemption stream. Waffles barked at every vibration until I tossed the phone into a kitchen drawer just to hear actual silence. It lasted 8 seconds. Mom called. "Mija, why is the internet saying your pantry is the new kissing booth?" Latino moms waste no time with small talk. I gave her the short version minus the spice indexes, but she still gasped loud enough to rattle her rosary beads. "I will pray, but también I will punch," she declared. I assured her prayer sufficed, promised Sunday brunch, and hung up before emotions brewed harder than her cafecito. Nate and Zoe arrived with cold brew and graph paper schedules for tomorrow's charity stream. Zoe slapped sticky notes on every cabinet. Talking points: honesty, boundaries, dogs. CTA, adopt, don't shop. Remember to breathe. Nate set up ring lights and a second camera angle in case trolls flood the main chat. I swallowed gratitude like a vitamin too big for my throat. At 11:07 a.m., Ryan's accounting firm announced via LinkedIn that he'd been placed on administrative leave pending an internal review of conduct conflicting with company values. Translation: Pantry Smooch's equal branding nightmare. Comments ranged from corporate integrity matters to "Kayla, call me smiling face with hard eyes." I screenshot the post, archived it, then forced myself to feel nothing. Schadenfreude is a sugar-high, nice but non-nutritive. Email dinged subject line: cease and desist defamation concerns. Sender: Jenna's lawyer father, of course. He claimed my TikTok clip misrepresented consensual adult interactions and demanded I remove it. I forwarded it to Ms. Powell, the bulldog attorney Zoe had found. Ms. Powell replied in 12 minutes. "Video is accurate, no names stated, no defamation. File under empty bark." She added a shark emoji for flair. I pinned her email to my favorites. By noon, TikTok pushed my follow-up to the For You page. Views hit 2.3 million. Brands smelling girl power capital started circling, faux vegan snack boxes, a dating app positioned as infidelity proof, even a reality TV casting producer who asked if I'd star in Betrayal Rehab. I declined, but the app offered a 10K sponsorship for a 30-second midstream read. Charity Coffers said yes. Pride said ask Ms. Powell first. She wrote back, "Bag the money, donate half, disclaim SpawnCon. Easy." I drafted a post. Tomorrow's Truth Stream will donate 100% of Super Chat plus 50% of sponsorship to Austin Pets Alive. Remainder covers therapy and new shelving for a dog-proof pantry. Comments erupted with dog emojis and queen moves only. Afternoon, Ryan texted a selfie of him outside a therapist office, caption: "Starting individual sessions, proof of change." I stared at the image, puffy eyes, 5 o'clock shadow, misery styled in khaki. Once that face was home base, now it was a caution label. I tapped out a reply: "Therapy is good. We'll talk through lawyers." Deleted 3 times before sending the shorter, noted. Jenna, radio silence, until 4 p.m. when she posted a tear-streaked story claiming the pantry kiss was a one-time drunken mistake, staged for a spicy dare. My phone blew with forwarded clips. Her followers divided, some calling my live stream cyberbullying, others calling her gaslighter-in-chief. I didn't respond. Algorithms feast on back and forth, but silence sometimes starves them. Zoe built tomorrow's overlay, a spinning wheel labeled truth tokens. Every $10 donation would trigger a random truth prompt that I'd answer live, everything from "what red flag did I ignore?" to "ever cheated on a test." Transparency as entertainment. It felt weird, but weird times demand weird remedies. Somewhere in the chaos, I realized I hadn't eaten. I inhaled an everything bagel, tasted nothing. Grief does that, murders your taste buds before your heart catches up. I forced myself to plan dinner anyway. Healing needs protein. I texted Dev and Priya, "Surprise cameo tomorrow, bring kickboxing crew energy." A fist emoji came back instantly. Evening descended, a neon sunset smeared over skyline like spilled sherbet. I took Waffles for a walk and tried to decode my own feelings. Anger had burned off, leaving behind something steadier. Purpose? Maybe. Or maybe the mind grabs any to-do list to avoid lying in emotional wreckage. When we got home, a cardboard tube leaned against my door. No label. Inside, my own Canva print of the Truth or Dare deck artwork torn down the middle, scrawled in Sharpie. Game night ended. Stop milking it. My pulse sprinted. Jenna, Ryan, a hater? I photographed it, texted Ms. Powell. She responded, document stay public. Bullies prefer shadows. Nate installed an outdoor camera within the hour. Zoe changed my locks using a YouTube tutorial and more curse words than I'd heard from her in 3 years. At 11 p.m., test stream. Lights on, mic hot, chat set to subs only. Nate pretended to be a troll, spamming pantry princess. The filter zapped him. Good. Custom emoji of waffles with sunglasses? Check. Slider to show real-time donation tally? Check. My reflection in the monitor looked pale but determined, battle-ready gamer minus the controller. I drafted tomorrow's opening line on a sticky note. I never thought game night would break my heart until honesty broke the internet. Hook set. Midnight, final prep email from TikTok partnership team. Verify charity, approve e-commerce links. I clicked confirm. Clock ticked past 1 a.m. Nate and Zoe crashed on my couch, ring lights casting faint halos over their blankets. I curled on my bed, hugged waffles, and whispered, "We got this." Sleep came fractured but present. At 7 a.m., my phone alarm played Destiny's Child Survivor. Cheesy? Yup. Effective? Absolutely. Coffee brewed, adrenaline spiked, throat rehearsed talking points mid-sip. At 9, Ms. Powell video called. Ryan's lawyer accepted amicable separation terms, assets split 60-40 your favor due to documented misconduct. Sign when ready. I blinked. Divorce papers already? The idea hit like a bookend slamming shut. I sighed, nodded. Send them. She also noted Jenna's C and D threat had vanished after Jenna's father watched pantry footage. Sometimes reality is the best gag order, Ms. Powell quipped. Noon, local news van parked across the street. I'd declined on-camera interviews, but apparently second-hand drama sells. Zoe hung a bedsheet over the living room window and painted in huge letters. Watch at Mia's Stories, 7 p.m. CST, Charity Truth Stream. Free billboard. Ryan texted once more, I'll tune in. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. I thumbed a response, deleted it, set the conversation to archive. 5:55 p.m. ring lights on, cameras ready, queue of moderators, including Dev Priya, plus 2 internet safety nerds Zoe recruited, green checked. Donation link hard tested. Kayla's Pantry of Truth overlay popped in the preview window. View counter already at 18,000 waiting. 6:58, heart inside a bass drum. Nate squeezed my shoulder, whispered, remember, your story, your rules. Zoe placed a mug of water by the mic like a communion offering. Waffles settled at my feet in a tiny shark costume that Dev insisted viewers would tip for. Fine, let the dog eat, I thought. 6:59, heavy breath in. I read my sticky note hook once, twice. 7:00, I clicked go live. Ring light halo flooded. Chat exploded in rainbow emojis. Donation ticker jumped in real time. $120, $450, $1,120. I swallowed nerves. Hey, truth seekers, I began, voice steady, eyes on lens. I never thought game night would break my heart until honesty broke the internet. Tonight, we turn broken pieces into stair steps. But before I could spin the truth token wheel, an alert flashed crimson. User Secret Spice 2025 just requested to join live video. Jenna's account. Chat went feral, fire emojis, popcorn gifs, a tsunami of accept. Ryan's handle popped up too. At account GuyTX tipped $100. Please let us speak. View count leapt past 50,000. My finger hovered over the accept icon, brain whirring. This was not on any sticky note. The entire internet held its breath, and so did I, balanced on a precipice between closure and new chaos. Truth, I muttered into the mic, not breaking eye contact with the camera, isn't scared of a little live conversation. I tapped accept. Screen split into 3 panels, me, Jenna, Ryan, faces framed in digital neon. And the wheel behind me kept spinning, like fate itching to dare us all. The real game night had just begun. The instant Jenna's video pane appeared, the chat detonated. Heart-eye emojis, skulls, pitchforks scrolling faster than I could blink. She sat in her bedroom, fairy lights behind her, cherry red jumpsuit traded for an oversized UT hoodie that dwarfed her confidence. Ryan's window showed him in a bland hotel room, beige walls as blank as his expression. I caught my own reflection, stone-calm face, pulse knocking against my throat like a woodpecker. Jenna spoke first, voice shaky. "Kayla, thank you for." I held up a hand. "Rules first. Tonight's stream is a charity truth event. No swearing, no blame shifting, 30-second limits. Break a rule and moderators boot you. Clear." Ryan nodded, eyes flicking to the donation ticker now showing $3,800 for Austin Pets Alive. Jenna swallowed hard. "Clear." "Good." I clicked the truth token wheel. Colors blurred, then clicked onto a gold wedge. "What red flag did you ignore the longest?" Chat erupted. "Answer it." I inhaled. My red flag, thinking loyalty is guaranteed just because it's long-term. History without honesty is nostalgia cosplay. Jenna. She flinched. My red flag was craving validation from people already taken. She glanced at Ryan's pane, tears glassing her eyes. "Including yours." Ryan exhaled sharply. Mine was letting admiration morph into obsession. I should have stepped back the first time Jenna flirted. Chat filled with finally some honesty. Donation ticker ticked to $5,200. I spun again. It landed on crimson. "Confess the biggest lie you told this year." Ryan's turn. He stared into webcam purgatory. "The biggest lie? That the pantry kiss was the first. It happened 2 other times. Once after Jenna's birthday party, Kayla, you were on the balcony with Zoe, and once after Jenna and I stayed late to help you reset Halloween decor." He looked sick. I told myself it was harmless because we never went further. The comment feed combusted. Emotional cheating is cheating, not him using adjacency as innocence. Jenna wiped mascara trails. My lie was telling myself Kayla wouldn't be hurt if she didn't know. She clasped shaking hands. That lie poisoned everything. Donation bar jumped again, people tipping every time they typed "truth hurts, but tip heals." We passed $7,000. I took a measured sip of water. "We'll do one more question." Spin. Wheel slowed on teal. "What consequence do you accept, and what boundary will you respect?" Silence stretched, tense as pulled taffy. Jenna inhaled. "Consequence, losing 20 years of sisterhood. Boundary, 0 contact unless Kayla initiates. I'll delete the TikTok, delete the pantry footage, and start therapy Monday." I nodded, surprise pricking behind my eyes. Ryan looked straight into camera. "Consequence, marriage over, job may be gone, public humiliation deserved. Boundary, no commentary about Kayla on social media, ever. And 10% of my future salary goes to the shelter fund, whether we divorce or whatever Kayla decides." Chat flooded with "hold him to that" and dog emojis. Donations surged past $10,000. I breathed out, shoulders lighter than they'd felt in days. "Thank you," I said, voice steady but softer. Mods dropped them from the feed. Their windows vanished. Chat slowed, sentiments shifting from bloodlust to admiration. Kayla the class act. I faced the audience. We just witnessed accountability. Messy, yes, but real. Now let's pivot to good energy. I unveiled Waffles in his shark costume. The chat melted into squeals. Dev, Priya, Nate, and Zoe joined on split-screen panels, answering silly truths like craziest DoorDash order while the wheel kept spinning. Each joke added dollars. Within 40 minutes, we cracked $25,000. My cheeks ached from genuine laughter. During a bathroom break, I checked phone texts. "Ms. Powell, Jenna's dad wants settlement talk. They'll retract C and D and issue apology in writing." I thumbs-upped. "Mom, proud Hija, streaming you on the smart TV. Grandma asked what ship her dog means." I laughed into a paper towel. "Back on stream," Zoe announced. "Surprise stretch goal. If we hit 30 grand, Kayla releases a limited true snack charcuterie kit, no pantry required." Donations rocketed. In 10 minutes, we hit $32,400. I promised pre-orders. Someone in chat typed "girl just built an empire from Betrayal." Another called it "charcuterie revenge board." At exactly 2 hours, I ended the stream, heart humming not from caffeine but community. Mods cheered in private chat, total locked at $34,892. I sank onto the couch, waffles plopping into my lap. Nate shut off ring lights, muttering, "Internet justice served al dente." Later, after hugs and goodnights, condo fell quiet. I skimmed comments, majority supportive, a handful accusatory trolls already blocked. My followers jumped from 40,000 to 182,000 in a day. Surreal. Ryan texted again, "Thank you for platform to apologize. Signing separation draft tonight. Let me know delivery method." I typed drop at Ms. Powell's office, hit send, and felt a door slam shut inside me, but it didn't echo. Midnight, I crawled into a disaster-free pantry, sat on the floor with waffles, and let exhaustion shake loose as tears, relief tears, grief tears, maybe even hopeful tears. The laminated cards were gone, shelves smelled of lemon cleaner. I whispered to the dog, "We played the game, buddy. We won on our terms." A soft knock startled me. I opened the door. Zoe stood with a neon pink index card. "Found this behind the couch." My stomach clenched until I flipped it over. My own handwriting, not sabotage. One of the original prompts I'd forgotten to include. "Dare look in the mirror and say one thing you're proud of." I pressed it to my chest. Guess that dares for me. Zoe hugged me, already past. She headed to the guest room with a wink. Alone again, I held the card up to the pantry light and spoke out loud. "I'm proud that I turned my most humiliating night into help for 1,000 shelter animals, and into a boundary no one will cross again." The words didn't fix everything, but they fit, like the first firm brick in a new foundation. I tucked the card into a jar labeled "Next Game Night," unsure when or whether that night would come, but certain the rules would be written by a braver Kayla. Then I switched off the pantry light, carried waffles to bed, and let real sleep. Dreamless, deep, claim a heart that finally believed itself worth the truth. I thought the charity stream would close the chapter, cue credits, triumphant outro music, but 24 hours later the algorithm reminded me that the internet doesn't believe in epilogues. It demands sequels, spin-offs, deleted scenes. Saturday morning, I woke to an email from Snack Queen Ventures, a West Coast incubator that funds female-led food brands with viral DNA. They watched the stream, loved the idea of a truth snack charcuterie kit, and wanted a Zoom pitch Monday. I fist-pumped in bed, only to notice the second email. Ryan's firm reversed his leave. They wanted my statement confirming he'd never breached client data while content creating. Corporate America was speedrunning damage control, and I was the citation they needed. Before I could draft a polite no comment, my phone buzzed with Twitter pings. A gossip channel called Spill the Tea Austin had posted the unblurred pantry video. Thumbnail: Jenna kissing Ryan's neck, timestamp stamped across my spice rack like a death certificate. My lungs seized. I'd locked that raw file behind two-factor. Someone still leaked it, and the comments already blamed me for monetizing misery. I rang Nate, voice shaking, the video unblurred. He cursed, "No way that came from our side. Check Jenna's socials." Sure enough, 15 minutes earlier Jenna had posted a crying selfie captioned, "Being doxxed when you're already sorry is next-level cruelty." A subtle finger pointed at me without nomming me. Her father's lawyer account retweeted it with accountability not annihilation. My phone blew up with mixed takes. Some defended Jenna's privacy, others screenshotted the pantry kiss for memes. Zoe marched into the living room, hair in a lopsided bun, eyes on fire. Damage report. I slumped at the breakfast bar. Someone leaked the raw. Ms. Powell video called 2 minutes later. "Will file takedown notices, trace the IP." She paused. "Did you send the file to anyone besides your inner circle?" Only Ms. Powell had the full version, plus my encrypted cloud. I trusted Nate and Zoe with my life. That left Ryan, whose account had begged me not to destroy him. Could he have leaked it to paint himself as a victim? Or Jenna, marketing heartbreak for sympathy clicks? While Powell dispatched DMCA missiles, Zoe brewed coffee so strong it threatened to dissolve the mug. She suggested a statement: "Own the leak, reiterate charity mission." I drafted and posted. "I didn't publish the unblurred clip. It breaches consent, including mine. Please report and avoid sharing. Focus on the $34K we raised for shelter animals." The tweet got traction, but so did the leak. The bell could not be unrung. It echoed through shared group chats like a cursed ringtone. By afternoon, Ryan texted, "I swear I didn't leak it. My lawyer can give you phone logs." I left him on read. Jenna DM'd, This is exactly the cancel culture spiral I feared. She attached a screenshot of hateful DMs calling her a homewrecker. Normally, I'd have summoned empathy, but the timing felt like emotional blackmail. Ping, Ms. Powell emailed. Preliminary metadata showed the pantry file uploaded from a public Wi-Fi spot inside Brewlab Cafe, the carking coffee shop Jenna frequented. Not proof, but a neon arrow. I forwarded the info to Jenna with a single line, "We need to talk honesty offline." She left it on read. Evening brought the Zoom pre-pitch with Snack Queen. I debated canceling, but Nate said opportunity loves chaos. Camera on, ring light lit, I pitched Truth Bites TM. Cracker cones filled with salami roses, each kit paired with blank dare to share cards for home honesty games. The investors nodded, intrigued, right until one asked, "How will you prevent your personal scandal from overshadowing the product?" I replied, by turning the scandal into a case study on transparency, QR code inside every box linking to a pet shelter tracker. Silence, then clapping emojis. They scheduled a term sheet call. Adrenaline crashed, anxiety surged. I hadn't eaten since 7 a.m. I microwaved leftover mac and cheese, tasted cardboard. Zoe shoved a plate of fruit under my nose. "Vitamins aren't optional when you're front-page drama," she scolded. We spent the night triaging comments. Donation trolls demanded refunds because Kayla weaponized cheating. Priya jumped in with a kickboxing crew flex. "We'll refund your emotional labor in push kicks. Class is Monday at 6. Trolls shrank. At 11 p.m., Jenna called. I answered on speaker, Zoe and Nate as witnesses. Jenna's voice was ragged. "It was me. I sent the file to one blogger. I wanted people to see Ryan initiated it so they'd hate him more than me, but they cropped it." She sobbed. "I'm so sorry." Nate's fist clenched. Zoe whispered, "Why would you weaponize your own guilt?" Jenna sniffed. "My job flagged me. I panicked. When your tweet blamed the leak on someone else, I realized I'd crossed another line. Kayla, I'll make a video confessing." My throat tightened, anger mingling with pity. "No more videos," I said. "I want silence from you for now. Clean silence, no subtweets, no anonymous drops, no lawyer letters. If you need to absolve yourself, volunteer at the shelter we funded." She agreed through tears. Call ended. Zoe exhaled. "That girl needs a priest and a firewall." Sunday morning, Ms. Powell drafted a civil harassment agreement. Jenna to issue formal private apology, pay $5,000 to Austin Pets Alive, sign NDA against future leaks. Jenna signed within hours. By Monday, the leak tempered. Other scandals had hatched. Snack Queen offered $150K seed funding for 20% equity. I accepted on 2 conditions: animal rescue donations baked into every quarterly profit and a product tagline. Snack responsibly, truth included. Ms. Powell walked me through no-fault divorce papers. Ryan's lawyer returned them notarized. Assets split. 10% salary pledge contractually locked to the shelter. One chapter closed. Yet part of me still woke at 2 a.m. replaying neon cards, hearing Jenna's giggle. Grief doesn't sign NDAs. I scheduled my first therapy appointment and set a phone wallpaper that read progress over perfection. Baby steps, big girl shoes. 2 weeks later, on launch day for Truth Bites pre-orders, I went live for a calm cue and a no wheel, no drama. Waffles snoozed. I addressed mental health, boundaries, redemption. Viewers thanked me for not milking scandal beyond purpose. We sold 8,000 kits in 48 hours. Shelters tagged me in puppy photos. That taste beat any charcuterie. A month after that, I hosted a quiet, off-camera game night with Nate, Zoe, Dev, Priya, and 2 new neighbors. No truth or dare, just cooperative pandemic-era board game called The Mind, where you win by synchronizing silence. Halfway through, I realized my pulse wasn't racing, and the kitchen smelled only of garlic knots, not panic. Looking back now, I see the TikTok memes will fade, donations will spend, snack fads will rotate. Yet the quiet in my condo that night felt permanent, like fresh paint sealing smoke damage. I don't know if I'll ever print neon cards again, but I do know this. Honesty isn't just a game prompt. It's the air a relationship breathes. Without it, even a pantry as small as mine can become a crime scene. And somewhere out there, Jenna is scooping dog poop at a shelter, Ryan is learning boundaries in a beige therapist office, and I'm here, Relearning joy in small sips, planning Truth Bites flavor 2, lemony forgiveness, Zoe's idea, daring myself to trust a little faster each day. Because the best revenge was never memes. It was building a life with doors too sturdy for secrets to sneak through, and stocking a pantry only waffles will ever kiss in again. I never imagined my broken game night would end up stocked on grocery shelves next to gluten-free crackers. But 9 months after the pantry explosion, I rolled a shopping cart past an end-cap display of Truth Bites TM and watched a stranger pop a spicy accountability salami cone into her basket. She didn't recognize me, messy bun, athleisure, no ring, but my heart still kicked like it did the first time I hit go live. That heart kick reminded me how much had changed since the night the cards exposed Ryan and Jenna, a signed divorce decree, a funded snack startup, and a house that now echoed with purposeful silence instead of secrets. Walking those fluorescent aisles, I realized the scandal had stopped defining me. It was just chapter 1 in a paperback I now carried for reference, not for rereading. 1 second course success. Back in May, Snack Queen Ventures wired the second tranche of funding, and the pilot production of 25 Zero Truth Bites kits sold out online in 3 hours. We'd assumed a quirky niche audience, TikTok teens, petty exes, but data showed a broader demographic. HR teams buying them for icebreakers, therapists giving them to couples as homework, even a megachurch youth group ordering 500 for premarital boot camp. We swapped spicy salami for turkey to keep it kosher. Each kit came with a link to an interactive truth board, where users anonymously logged the bravest truth they'd shared. The dashboard now glowed with thousands of entries. I hate my major. I'm scared to be a dad. I should have said I'm sorry years ago. Every month, we donated 10% of net profits to Austin Pets Alive, and they sent back pictures of wagging tails labeled sponsored by Honesty. When Snack Queen's PR team wanted a flashy press tour, I insisted we stop first at the shelter. Cameras captured me in a hairnet distributing snack cones to volunteers, Waffles trotting beside me in his shark hoodie. He'd become the unofficial mascot. The segment aired on Good Morning America, and orders spiked another 40%. That morning, I texted Ms. Powell, never thought Pantry Princess would become Charcuterie Queen, attaching a laughing emoji. She replied with champagne gifts and reminded me to trademark charcuterie, Queen TM, before the internet beat me to it. Healing isn't linear, but it graphs nicely. Therapy became my Tuesday standing meeting. Dr. Lee, soft-spoken but steel-spined, helped me map Betrayal's fallout like a project plan. Milestones for grief, deliverables for self-trust, KPIs for boundaries. You understand sprints, she'd said. Healing works better in agile cycles than perfectionist plunges. We traced my childhood caretaker mode, the one that hosted flawless game nights, as a root vulnerability. Each week I practiced micro-risks, leaving a charcuterie board imperfect, saying no without footnotes, letting new friend Cassandra organize game night snacks even if she bought grocery store hummus instead of artisanal. The first time I did, my stomach twisted, but the world didn't collapse. Dr. Lee high-fived the small victory. I added it to my Truth Wins journal. The hardest sprint? Trusting groups again. For months, any invite triggered a flash of neon cards and slow-motion betrayal. Nate and Zoe coaxed me gently. Brunch with their married friends who treated each other like respectful coworkers plus occasional flirting. Double dates where I arrived solo but left warmed by genuine conversation. Eventually, I ventured to a friend of a friend's game night, strictly cooperative games, no truth or dare in sight. My pulse pounded at each dice roll, but I survived, even laughed. Dr. Lee noted the date on her chart like a booster shot record. 3 Ryan's quiet restitution. Ryan honored the 10% salary pledge automatically. Ms. Powell's escrow notifications arrived monthly. In June, he emailed, I've completed 20 individual therapy sessions, joined SA, sexual addicts, support group. I know redemption isn't your job, just updating. I replied with a single sentence, thank you for following through. Our legal communication thread dwindled to logistics about Waffle's visitation. Ryan loved the dog, and Dr. Lee agreed that structured, supervised visits at the dog park served soft closure. The first meetup felt like attending a movie I'd already seen, familiar plot, no emotional pull. Ryan looked healthier, eyes less frantic. We tossed a ball for Waffles in polite silence. When he left, I didn't crumble. Progress. We still haven't discussed the pantry. maybe we never will. Sometimes closure is the door that stays locked, with a do not disturb, sign you respect for life. For Jenna's redemption arc, maybe. Jenna kept her word. Therapy 3 times a week, 100 volunteer hours scooping litter boxes. Austin Pets Alive sent me photos of her wearing a Truth Bites apron, hairnet hiding the once iconic espresso balayage curls. She emailed a sincere, pages-long apology letter, no excuses, no, but. I cried reading it, then put it in a drawer labeled Forgiveness, pending. Dr. Lee says forgiveness isn't a favor you grant, it's part of your own unclogging. Some days the drawer feels lighter, other days the handle burns hot. That's okay, healing sprints, remember. TikTok occasionally surfaces her new account. Puppy fostering videos, no thirst trap dances, zero mention of me or Ryan. The comments alternate between queen growth and still side dish. I've muted the account but not blocked. Boundaries, not walls. 5. The dare I drew for myself. September's first Friday approached, anniversary of the implosion. Instead of hiding, I organized Truth and Treats, a virtual festival of radical honesty. We partnered with mental health nonprofits, therapists hosted breakout rooms, musicians played between panels discussing boundaries, consent, digital empathy. Over 250,000 attendees logged in worldwide. Donations topped $220,000. The keynote? A rescue dog parade emceed by Waffles in a tiny tux. My closing speech borrowed from that pantry-found dare card. Look in the mirror and say one thing you're proud of. I told 250,000 webcams I was proud of turning a private nightmare into collective daylight, proof that community can be louder than betrayal. Comments poured hearts. Somewhere across digital noise, I hoped one person chose truth with their partner because of it. 6. Final card on the table. Now it's December. Holiday lights twinkle outside my condo. I place a charcuterie board, even edges intentionally uneven, on the coffee table. My new partner, Daniel, we met at that cooperative game night. He's a cybersecurity analyst who hates lies like they're malware, sets down mugs of peppermint cocoa. Ready? He asks. We're about to host our first small game night. Dev and Priya are bringing their newborn. Zoe and Nate promised to teach Cascadia. No truth or dare tonight, just calm strategy and mismatched snacks. My pulse thrums, but excitement outvotes anxiety. I glance at the mirror above the mantel, Dr. Lee's homework. I look myself in the eye and say, I'm proud that I curated a life where honesty is housekeeping, not crisis management. Daniel hears, smiles, and adds, and I'm proud you let me bring store-bought hummus. Waffles yips approval. The doorbell rings. As laughter spills in, I catch a last glimpse of the neon pink index card, framed on the wall like a museum artifact. Dare, look in the mirror, and say one thing you're proud of. I whisper back, done and dealing. Then I open the door, welcoming new memories into a space where secrets won't ever fit again. Because the final truth is simple. Some games need rules, some nights need redemption, but every story needs the courage to shuffle the deck, deal yourself grace, and play forward. Subscribe to my Mia's Stories YouTube channel for raw, emotional stories and authentic insights that encourage healing, growth, and understanding. Don't forget to be part of a supportive space where stories inspire and lessons resonate. What do you think about this story? Let us know in the comments. Your opinion truly matters to us, and we're here for you.